On Fed Chair, Kevin Warsh said you were going to announce your decision within the next 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe.
Are you doing your interviews with finalists today?
Well, I'm meeting with Kevin Warsh today, so I'm meeting with him. I sort of have a very good idea what I'm looking for. Again, I'm looking for somebody that will be honest with interest rates. That's all. I just want honesty. Our rate should be much lower. Our rate should be the lowest rates in the world. Because all these countries that you see, with low rates, many of them are low because of us, because they suck so much money out of us. But that's not happening anymore. We should have the lowest rates in the world. And without us, none of them really exist as an economy.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced that he is nominating Kevin Warsh to be the 17th chair of the Federal Reserve after Jerome Powell's term ends in May. If confirmed by the Senate, Warsh will take over when Powell's 4-year term as Fed chair expires on May 23rd. Warsh is a former Federal Reserve governor and a longtime critic of what he calls an oversized and overreaching Fed. He has argued the central bank has grown unwieldy, straying far beyond its core mission of price stability and growth. Warsh has praised Trump's tax cuts and deregulatory agenda, saying they are fueling a powerful U.S. economic expansion. He has been outspoken against years of quantitative easing and bailouts that ballooned the Fed's balance sheet. That balance sheet now stands around $6.5 trillion to $6.7 trillion, a level Warsh says distorts markets and limits policy flexibility. Warsh argues that shrinking the balance sheet would allow interest rates to fall, aligning with Trump's economic goals. He is also sharply critical of the Powell Fed's banking regulations, which he says restrict credit to businesses. According to Warsh, those rules have slowed investment and weighed on American companies trying to expand. He has further accused the Fed of enabling massive deficit spending through loose pandemic-era monetary policy. Before his Fed role, Warsh was an investment banker and served in George W. Bush's White House. He later advised then-Fed Chair Ben Bernanke during the global financial crisis, acting as a key liaison to Wall Street. Since leaving the Fed, Warsh has worked with investor Stan Druckenmiller and served as a Hoover Institution Fellow. The nomination follows Trump's repeated attacks on Powell, slamming him for keeping interest rates high.
Mr. President, on Fed Chair, Kevin Warsh said you were going to announce your decision within the next 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe.
Are you doing your interviews with finalists today?
Well, I'm meeting with Kevin Warsh today, so I'm meeting with him. I sort of have a very good idea what I'm looking for. Again, I'm looking for somebody that will be honest with interest rates. That's all. I just want honesty. Our rate should be much lower. Our rate should be the lowest rates in the world. Because all these countries that you see, with low rates, many of them are low because of us, because they suck so much money out of us. But that's not happening anymore. We should have the lowest rates in the world. And without us, none of them really exist as an economy. I mean, I can show you these really prime, really wonderful countries. They've had nothing but success. It's because they took so much out of the United States. I mean, it's one of those little problems. I want to see that when we do well, we're rewarded for doing well, not the way it's been for the last pretty long period.
The final four was believed to be Warsh, National Economic Council Director Kevin Warsh, current Fed Governor Christopher Waller, and BlackRock Chief Investment Officer Rick Rieder.
And we're going to be announcing next week, I think sometime, Scott and Howard and everybody, we're going to be announcing the head of the Fed, who that will be. And it'll be a person that will, I think, do a good job. We're paying far too much interest in the Fed. The Fed rate's too high, unacceptably high. We should have the lowest, and I think you read my statement today. I put out a statement before the meeting, but we should have the lowest interest rate anywhere in the world, because a lot of these countries are successful only because of us, because we allow them to have surpluses. And without surpluses, some of the countries that you most respect financially, that you say, oh, this one, that one, this one, that one, they're successful because we allow them to have surpluses. And we could easily stop that with the powers that we have, but we don't. We took some of it, but we took really just a small portion of it compared to what we could take if we wanted to. We should have the lowest interest rate anywhere in the world. They should be 2 points and even 3 points lower. And if it was, each point is the equivalent of, I would say, $500 billion. So if you got 2 points low, you have $1 trillion in saving, and it's almost, if you call it just a paper expense. You can do it with a pencil. It's not cutting. It's not saying we have to get rid of jobs, or it's just like literally so easy to do. But we have a guy that doesn't want to do it because he's, I think he's politically biased. I really do. I believe he's politically biased because most smart people say it's not even a question. But despite that, we were able to bust through. It's like busting through a wall. We're able to bust through a wall, and we have the kind of numbers that Scott and Howard with the steel and other things talk about. What would you say, Howard, in terms of how we're doing, generally speaking? Great businessman, very successful guy. He's doing a really good job. What would you say?
Well, no one, before you walked in the door, no one thought our economy could grow 2%. Fourth quarter, with the shutdown, 5.5%, and that means the first quarter, you could see the United States of America, with its $30 trillion economy, grow in the 6% range, and no one thought that was possible. That's how you get jobs, that's how you get money down, that's how you fix the deficit. You are fixing everything with your policies. You have changed America and created the golden age.
Thank you. And with the help of the Fed, because we really, we want help, not hindrance. Why would the Fed hinder? But with the help of the Fed, with the right choice, if we make the right choice, a lot of times you make a choice, you think it's good, and it turns out to be not good. But with the help of the Fed, we could hit numbers that have never been hit before. We could hit 8, 9, 10. There's no reason why not. And, I talk about, if you go back 20 years, 25 years, I'm old enough to remember, when we had good news, when you announced good news, the stock market went up. You announce anything good, the stock market went up. You announce bad, the stock market went up. And that's the way it should be. But now it's, over the last 15 or so years, if you announce good news, that means they're going to raise interest rates because they want to kill it. So you can never really be that successful because you announce all record numbers, great, because they're afraid of inflation. But growth doesn't have to have any impact on inflation. It can make inflation go down in many cases. So, and you've seen that with us. I mean, we're growing at a much faster rate than anybody thought was possible. We have very controllable inflation. With Biden, we were getting killed, and we had the worst inflation in 48 years in history, in the history of our country. And that's with going down. So growth is a great thing. It doesn't mean inflation. And I want to go back to a system where when we announce good news, they say, that's great. We can lower interest rates instead of raise interest rates. And by the way, if inflation comes, we'll take care of it when it comes. But, they're trying to guess it, and they're trying to get it 10 years before in advance. And, we want to make this country greater than ever before, and I think we're doing that. But we want to make it that when we announce great news, everything goes up. If we announce bad news, that happens too. We bring it down, and we control, and we do what we have to do. But we can have numbers in the upside like nobody's ever seen before.